Another morning casual gameplay of Fortnite. Again, if you have not been to this channel before, I am not an extreme streamer. I am also not a very popular streamer, and I will show you the nitty-gritty of the game of Fortnite, the wins and the losses. Probably more losses than wins, but this is realistic. I cannot show you gameplay of a game where every time I'm filming or streaming is a win. Now I do not see very well, which initially it's harder for me to play. However, I do have wins across the board in solos, duos, and squads. Now, I'm not the best player. I am a decently good player. And I'm just here to entertain you with just some gameplay. People like to watch. I like to let people watch. And let's get into it and see what happens. People might ask why I have a picture of Loki while I'm streaming, because hey, Kish blowing, that's from Smite. Yes, I do enjoy playing Smite too. I am a player of Smite. However, I am streaming Fortnite gameplay because this is what I've been playing for a while now. Since season 1 I've been playing this game, and there's been ups and downs, patches, fixes, all this, and there are still some things that happen that still seem a little bit wonky, still seem like it's not been fixed, but initially it has. And some people think it's always the game, but it's actually not. Now, I've heard some information online from other streamers supporting the fact that if you have a bigger TV, it may be delayed, considering the frame count and all that other stuff that comes into play as far as framework. And you know what, I play on a big TV, and sometimes I feel like, yes, there is a big delay, or you know, the framing's not fast enough, so initially things happen that probably shouldn't. And I just, for my behalf, I have just learned that to deal with it. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. It's, you know, it's because of the fact that you have a larger TV that this is happening. And being shot at. I'm under fire. Always my savior. This chest here has been my savior for a very, very long time. I always initially try to come back to this point if I'm stuck in that building. And I just have to say that that chest is always there saving me. And this chest here is always a savior if no one gets to it beforehand. It's always came, more Kobe's, it's always came as a help to me all the same time I land there and there's nothing there, or it's something quick for me to run to and I know, you know, that they spawn there. And initially I like it. I'll take that over that any day. Actually, in this situation, I'm gonna get rid of this. This is how I'm gonna do things here today. I'm gonna try it like this. This isn't my usual route. Normally I take the outer skirt of this. I didn't hear much activity at the moment, so I was venturing outside my comfort zone as far as good. Something too much right here. Minor mix up there. My bad. Somebody's definitely angry. Gonna do that. See me. That's awesome. Alright, so we managed to evade all that, considering our life factor at the moment. Got some bandos, didn't realize that. Although we only have 23 seconds to get to the other circle. And you know what, I think we're gonna make it. I'm pretty sure we're gonna make it. There's no way not to make it unless I get engaged and we lose the fight. So, got this purple bolt here. Just gonna come this way for a hot second. Scan this area. Alright. Didn't see nobody for the last minute kill. Keep on heading this way. Always use the scopes as extra. Like, even if I'm not gonna use the item as far. Oh, someone took a rift. Let's see here. Oh, it's gonna play out. I do not see him. Which rift was it? I still don't know. Well, I guess we're not gonna go for one of those kills then. Let's see. Nice attempts, I guess. Nice attempts. Keep going toward this circle. We don't want to get caught. Plus, we do not have full shield or full health. And this is a very unpredictable situation. I'm glad we got out of the situation in paradise just to make it this far. We're going to continue with some quick mats here. I love hitting this one-hit stuff because even though it's only 5, you still, if you hit so many of them in one house, you will end up making, you know, 40 to 50 mats anyway, as if you were to be, you know, hitting at the trees or the rocks or any other wall potentially that you're hitting, or any other structure you're hitting to claim any of the materials that is necessary. Now, it may seem unorthodox, like, hey, I'm not just going to go keep hitting all this one stuff, I'm not going to get enough mats. Well, initially you do. It's, I think they're in there and like that for a reason. Clearly the bigger items give you more. But those little one-hit quick things are really good for on the go. And I think that people overlook all the small mats that like, oh, I'm going to collect all these trees. Well, initially when you're getting to point A to point B, you run into all these different things that are one hit, and they're really useful. People overlook them all the time, and sometimes that's the issue. Now, a lot of times I run into players, they're farming, and they're just at a tree hacking away, and that kind of makes them an easy target. Now, with these one-hit mats, you're not stuck there. You're not stuck looking around or stuck in one spot trying to evade being shot, you know, looking around, stopping. And with this method, you don't have to do that. There's so many one-shot things that get you things. Maybe there's a couple 5-tappers or whatever, but there's so many other things you could be hitting that give you such quick mats that it just makes sense to do it. And this is how I get most of my mats. Don't get me wrong, I do hit a lot of one-hit things to get my mats. However, I do hit down trees as well too. But when I find myself traveling in awkward situations where I'm storm chasing or I'm running from the storm trying not to get in it and I'm not doing things quite fast enough, that is the way that I go. Now, don't get me wrong, people might say, oh no, I don't do this, I always have enough time to do this and I have enough time to do that. It's not that I don't have enough time, it's just this is my quick method of getting it done. And I just find it, for me, myself, more useful. It's a lot less noisematic than probably could, because the fact that it's only one hit, so you only get that initial hit and you stop, and then people are like, okay, well now I'm misguided, because they hear it one time and then you don't hear it again, considering on what you're hitting, and it throws them off just a little bit, which is always the key. You always want to throw your opponent off no matter what. It's not always a thing, you can't always do it, but initially that is what you're trying to do. You're trying to catch your opponent slipping or have the upper hand. In any situation, someone that can have the upper hand, you could have all gold items or all blue or gray, and you could still have the upper hand on someone with better items. I guess it depends a little bit on the skill level you are with these specific items, and also your accuracy. So initially you win some, you lose some, but if you are accurate with the right skill level of training with any of these weapons, you can take over anyone regardless of their items. Not everyone's a good shooter. He might have good items, but he's not a good shooter. So, which also results in him losing a battle to maybe, a seasoned player that has all gray items versus a noob that would have all gold items. And I died. See how fast? I didn't even hear him coming up. I'm not even focusing. I'm talking too much to you. Okay. Let's try this again. I like the max out drift. It's really cool and all. It took a long time to get it myself. However, I'm gonna switch characters. I like the mobster for whatever reason. The mobster is somebody I like using. I've got my last win live on stream with the mobster, so I'm going to attempt to do this one more time with the mobster to see if this potentially has any effect. Now, initially they say that the skins are cosmetic, which is completely true. As far as I know, and to the information that I've obtained, they are only cosmetic. However, I have some opinions on these characters. For instance, a character with a helmet or a bigger headpiece, is that vulnerable to more or considerably easier headshots, considering the helmet's width? Are there certain hitboxes within the body, regardless of one's helmet, that determine if you're getting a headshot? Now, no one that I know to this knowledge has answered that. I just wonder myself, and also personally, I like the female characters. The female characters to me are slimmer, obviously, and they are a little bit quicker. I feel like they run a little bit faster, their movement's a little bit faster, and I potentially feel like they're harder to hit, only because of the fact that they're smaller. Now, this could be wrong, this could be just me feeling that way in those specific games when this is happening, but I feel strongly about it. I honestly feel most of my wins I've considerably been with the female characters. I have gotten wins with the male characters, but not as many, I believe, and that's just how I feel about the characters. I don't know, it could be wrong, could be right, maybe there is something with them, maybe their hitboxes are smaller, they do cosmetically run faster. To me, And I just want to know if does anybody else feel the same way? Has anybody else noticed that or came across a feel of that? And if not, it's also fine. Everybody doesn't feel the same way about any of this stuff, so I don't expect a nice little easy kill there. He must have not heard me coming in here. Must have not have seen me. Reload his. Alright. I did hear somebody here. I had footsteps. I don't see him. Better be cautious. Now, oh, unlucky. Can't go wrong with bandos. Can never go wrong with bandos. Let's try to get these outside houses here. I see that door's open there. Might have been someone there. Yeah. Alright, let's head it to the middle because I started there. Okay. Okay, well, my hunting skills must be low. I lost him. I know he's here. He's here somewhere. And I know he is. Get some of these quick mats like I talked about. Okay, that one's not working. Nor is that one. Trees like this I like to leave kinda up depending on where I'm at. If I'm in this divot considerably, yes, I will keep the trees up only because it gives away my position. Like, see, look at this guy. Look at this guy. You see this guy? I did not see him until he broke the tree down. That's what I'm talking about. You see, give away your position for what? And it's kind of ridiculous. You just collected those mats, you know, you're putting it right back up, so it's as if you didn't use them because I seen where you were. Now, you would not have had this problem if you had not had done that. And see, now I'm out of ammo, which is terrible. How could I be out of ammo? This is what I mean. I didn't get enough scavenging time. Let's get this. What's up here? Nothing. Wow. That quick mat. Now I must run. I hate having to run. I do run sometimes. In certain situations, I feel like, you know, I'm gonna see them in the long run. I've damaged them enough. Somebody might take them out. I might not have got the kill, but I'm alive. So, my playing style is a little unorthodox sometimes. I do some hiding. I do hide. It's just sometimes it's the right time to hide, and some people don't know when. They try to be too aggressive. Like, look at this. I can definitely deal with a pistol if I don't have no ammo, but I'm gonna go with this for right now, because if I need this pistol, it could save my life. People underestimate pistols, I think, and whatnot, but I use pistols heavily. I also like using revolvers. I feel like sometimes the revolver is underestimated, and I also feel like it works well with the mobster, which sounds a little funny because everything is always cosmetic, so it's not initially having any effect. But I feel like the drum gun in any color, a V revolver in any color, works well with the mobster character. I don't know if it's because that time era that's what they use and it just does a little buff or does better with it. It's just how I feel. I don't think really it does, but I feel so solely in my heart when I'm using it with these characters that there is some type of benefit, and somehow that presses me and myself to initially get more kills with these weapons considerably, because I feel like there's some type of buff. And you know what, I don't think that there honestly is, but the way it feels in my hands when I'm using these characters with these weapons is how I feel. And for whatever reason in my head it makes me play better, and that just might be me. That could be something wonky I have going on with myself, or just something that's happening. See, look, these revolver. Now, you know what? I'm going to test my theory out here. I'm going to use this revolver with this character. I did hit him pretty well with the revolver that first shot. Did not take him out, but initially my first shot hit. So I didn't react fast enough, but that was gonna be a kill. I was a little slow, so. Now, I know in these streams people come on here and they say all this other shit, this and that, blah, blah, this and that. I don't want to talk your head off. I know sometimes the commentary is good, you know. You listen to it, it's informational, whatnot, this and that, but I don't want to talk your head off. Who wants to talk your head off unless it's something that you're into while listening? I'm going to go ahead and switch characters. I like to switch characters heavily. Sometimes I feel like I feel better with certain characters, more confident, throws people off a little bit when you see certain characters, because sometimes I think people hesitate. They're like, oh man, look at that character, and then it results in them getting killed by him, or they're just not astonished by the cosmetic of it at all, and it's like, okay, kill is a kill. But I feel like some people hesitate when they see certain characters, and that might not be true. That might also be true, because I've seen people hesitate when they see certain characters. I've been wearing certain characters and seen people hesitate, and I don't know if it's just because they're hesitating or just because there's a character that makes them nervous because it's a higher tier. Excuse me. Alright. Let's jump into the solo, see where it gets us this time. I think I'm gonna drop in here. I'm gonna see here. Yeah. Let's see what we can do here. If we can drop here and get away with it. Risky. It is kind of risky. It's an earlier spot to jump at, considering the bus came from that side, and everybody's gonna jump here. I know that they are. Our goal is to get down here, finesse someone, hopefully getting a gun, getting easy pick-off kills, And a lot of times that's not the case. I find myself getting razzle dazzled all the time. And see what I'm saying? Terrible. I did terrible. Look at me. That burst is a no-go for me. Burst is a no-go. The burst is never my friend when it needs to be. The burst is never my friend when it needs to be. Ever. Never is. Never is. It's shitty. Never is. Alright, back on the live stream. It took me a second there. I'm gonna go to one of my classic favorites. I used to love this character. Used to use it all the time. I think I got my first win with this character actually, so I feel like she's somewhat lucky to me. Sniper rifle eliminations. Oh, that's always a hectic one to get, even though it's just one. You don't always find a sniper, and when you do, you don't always get the kill. And you know, some people are listening and say, "Oh, I'm a beast with a sniper. I do." Okay, well, it's not always the same for everybody. Some people are good, some people aren't, and guess what? Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. So. That's how that's gonna play out. Let's see what we're gonna drop in now. Last round was a little bit of a fluke here. Too much commotion at once. I was going for something easy, but effectively enough, they got the first shot, so I want to do something different. And we're gonna drop in here to Greece. We're gonna see how Greece is feeling. I think we're gonna get a lot of people going here just because it's closer to the edge. The bus just got in. We want to get down fast, and I think that's just how most people go. And sometimes I do that and I get the kills and I go for gold, and other times I don't. I'll get down, I will get screwed over by someone that's waiting behind me to get my loot in the chest, or they just get down before it and I don't get a chance to get up behind them real sneaky ninja like and take their stuff, and I get killed. And this happens a lot in not most gameplays, but I want to say maybe a little bit more than half. I always try to be aggressive. I don't always try to just stand back and play super good. And it's just what happens. I don't know. I didn't want to do that completely, but it happened that way. Go ahead and grab some stuff from out of here. Go ahead and readjust. I always do this nice little switch method I got with my weapons. People know I'm in here anyway. They'll see half of this shit's fucked up. Nice. Well done. Not being very smart about this. these are these quick man things I'm talking about. Like these one missions, 5, 10, 15. Like, that was great. Sniper, we need that. Excellent work. Lucky enough to find 2 freaking pods. Now, I have a sniper, so we're gonna take a peek-see. See what we can find here. Alright. Okay. Got someone trying to be sneaky deaky Dutch. Okay. That was, I don't know if that was fluke or Now you know what's funny? I do love the bush. The bush is my shit. I like it and I don't like it at the same time. And I'll tell you why in a minute. First I'll tell you why I like it. I like the bush late game. It gets you into the circle, it gets you real sneaky, and You know, it's just a little sneaky too. And then I hate when it gets down to the nitty gritty and you still have it on, because it initially blocks your vision, it blocks your view. You can't do as much. You can't, you know, be stealthy after that specific point, because you have this big bulky thing and it's just unbearable to be around. I don't have much magic. I'm gonna play the bush. How's that? I'm gonna play the fucking bush card. I'm gonna play it about right here. Now this is one of my strategies I use every once in a while. It's already the second circle. It's getting close. There's 19 people left with 42 seconds before the storm comes in, and I'm in a very good position in this specific circle to possibly see or hear where everyone is going to be or go. Now, so like I said, I have the drawbacks of the bush. I don't like the bush all like that, because like I said, it obstructs my view. And like I said earlier in the beginning of the video, if you weren't here, I don't see very well. So that would just add on another minus multiplier to my possibly getting a win / kill for my gameplay. Now, 17 people left. Storm's coming in. I'm just gonna bush life it for a little longer, because this is a smart strategy in certain situations. Now, I don't like the bush. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna see how this is gonna work. See how this is gonna play out. See if I can catch anybody. Let's try to get closer to that. Let's try to see if we can use this care package as bait. Let's see here. We'll be able to pull this off. Okay, I have to see where it's gonna land here. I don't see. Wait a minute. I thought I did. already popped it. Man. I wish it didn't happen like that. See what I'm saying? The bush will get you fucked up. Bush will get you messed up, man. Yeah, dude, this got me messed up. Alright, I'm gonna end this stream for right now. I might come back on later to give you guys some more play, just casually, you know. So stay tuned.